Hello everybody, welcome to Tokyo. We had a really nice flight back. I say that because I'm always pretty positive about stuff, but it was a tough flight. It was a long haul flight. Anytime you travel from somewhere to Japan, because it's an island, it's going to be quite a long flight. And Kanai got sick. We wanted to show you some of the flight when we arrived at the airport in Haneda. We didn't get a chance to do that. We came straight home because my wife wasn't feeling so good, and our toddler, who is 3 years old, I think he's an average boy. He certainly weathered that 14-hour flight better than we thought he would, which was good. But I want to talk about that experience when you take a long haul flight, in particular from New York to Tokyo. It's a long way. Going the other way from Tokyo to Japan, that's probably a different episode. Let me show you, just start off and show you our experience. So we started off at JFK. This is Terminal 7, and you can see it. The flight was on time, and we did leave on time. In fact, we arrived early, which is always a good thing. There's the flight. This is a Boeing 777, which last time we took the same flight, it had an anime wrapping around it. I forget what the anime was, but this was just a normal run-of-the-mill and a flight, which is really good. I'm going to talk. Oh, here's the business class, which is really nice. I saw the first class. The screens are a lot bigger, but for business, this is not too bad. The price was about 10 times more than economy, so we weren't going to go that route. But it looks very comfortable, and there were a lot of kids riding in business class, believe it or not. This is premium economy. You can see the seats look pretty cushy. They are. It does recline a little bit. You have the footrest goes up like there. But there's some issues with this, and this is the reason. I'll tell you why we didn't choose to fly premium economy in a second. And then this is the economy, which is nice. I think this is an ample amount of leg room. I don't think ANA has reduced the leg room, maybe a little bit comparatively, because a lot of the international airlines have been doing that, trying to fit in more people to make more money. I think it's better maybe to add more business suites and whatnot to make more money. But the economy experience with ANA it feels similar to what the premium economy for some of the other airlines would be like. At least that's the way I feel. The service is amazing. You can see we had really big entertainment screens on there. The headphones worked. It was a touch screen. Loads of. I'm showing the safety video because I was shocked at how attentive our son was watching the safety video. So always make sure you do that, even though Peter Von Gom is not the voice of the safety video anymore. But he's very attentive, including for the Boeing 777. He was studying the chart, so he knew, which is probably more than what we usually do. And I say the adults, he was all on top of that. B777-300, there you go. Flying Boeing these days, it is a little nervous, I gotta be honest with you, but we were just fine. Leo does get the window seat because he's using the Jet Kids. And he's also has a towel on the top of his headphones because they don't make headphones for kids. But that worked just fine. He didn't mind having a towel on his head. Not too bad. He was really attentive. He was watching classic Disney on the screens. He's saying bye-bye to America right here. Bye-bye, America. I'll see you next Sunday. I don't know why he wants to go back next Sunday, but there you go. He'll be back I guess he's going back sooner than we are. I don't know who's paying for that flight, but he will definitely miss your grandma, grandpa, the family back in the U.S. And we'll be back to New York again real soon, because that's where you can already see New York in the distance right there, the Gotham City, right there. At least that's what Leo calls it. But the ride in the Boeing 777, I guess this is the Dreamliner, is very comfortable. The reason I'm going to talk about why we didn't pick premium economy, I wanted to show you really quickly, because apparently a lot of you don't know this. Well, a lot of people, I'm sure our audience does. Whatever you do, after you do your doo-doo, please close the lid first. I don't know why people don't close the lids. This is a semi-gripe or public service announcement. Always close the lid of the toilet whenever you flush it. I don't know why I got to tell you this. Close the lid when you flush it, in particular on an airplane, because that stuff goes everywhere. I know it looks like it's getting sucked down, but when it does, that thing's flying all over the place. The last thing you want to touch is inside of a restroom. And if you go in there and the person in front of you did not close the lid, I guarantee you there's a piece of them all over the place. I'm not a germaphobe. I just studied microbiology and I did quite well in that class in college. Thank you very much. But close the lid of the toilet. Even at home, it's something that you should do. I'm just surprised that a lot of people don't do that. All right, we didn't pick the premium economy because the seat configuration for the premium economy is, Jason, that is common sense. You'd be surprised. Every time I went to the restroom, which is 5 or 6 times on this flight, the seat lid was up. I don't know why. Just put that out there. That's something that's concerning to me. All right, we didn't pick premium economy because the seat configuration in premium economy was 2, 4, 2, and there were 3 of us. So, of course, Leo, if we took the side seats, one of us would have to sit across from each other. We didn't want to do that. The 4 seats, then it's a little awkward, but the armrests in premium economy don't go up, and they do in the economy. So it's nice to be able to put the armrests up and make like a family sofa-like situation where you can kind of lay on each other. You can't do that in premium economy. You're really stuck with the configuration that they have. The armrests don't come up. We probably are a little bit more comfortable in premium economy because you do have a little bit more support, but you know, we were able to get, I think there's a pillow that we use called the turtle pillow, TRTL pillow. It's not really a pillow, but it's a neck brace. And I was able to get about 4 hours of pretty good sleep with that, believe it or not. So, I mean, yeah, premium economy I think would have been about $700 more because for one way, so it would have been $1,500 more to fly premium economy. And the premium economy was not full. I think people are quite budget conscious right now, and so in the end, yeah, it was. I'm glad that we flew economy. The food, though, this is an issue that my wife. This is a 360 camera, so we get a pretty good view in here. It might be a little dark, but we got the food, and we were impressed with the food. I always get a special meal, and this time I tried the gluten-free meal. All right, it's not too bad, but you always get your meal first. It's usually better prepared or very special and delicious. Kanai, you know, she got also the gluten-free because she saw that I got it last time and she said my food looked better. This time, it was awful. I don't know if that awful, but it was not good. It was not up to the standards of ANA. And I think that this had to do with the fact that the flight from Japan to the United States was prepared by Japanese chefs. I hate to say it. And then from the United States to Japan, I think it was like American Airlines staff or something, United Airlines, because United is part of the Star Alliance with ANA, and it seemed like this special food was prepared by American Airlines, budget conscious. We had the same potatoes for both meals, which really kind of said, all right, it's not very creative. The bread was not good, and I don't know what gluten-free bread is like, but it was pretty tasty coming from Japan, and it was like not good going back. The fruit was nice, but I didn't really eat the fruit. I got some yogurt a little bit later. I don't know. They give you gluten-free snacks and stuff. But both Kanai and I said the food was not up to ANA standards. And I'm thinking the food was not up to ANA standards for the regular menu either when I got to take a look at what other people had. So flying from Japan to New York and flying from New York to Japan, totally different quality of food, and I only have to think that perhaps the providers were different, American versus Japan based. The entertainment systems are really good. One thing that I really liked about economy is that they don't give you just a USB hub. Here's another view when we got our complimentary drinks. You can see right underneath where the tray table is, right before the pouch. They give you full-on electrical outlets, you know, so you can plug in your computer, you can plug in your charger. It doesn't matter if you have USB-C or USB-A, the old type. You get a full electrical socket, which is something that was only in like premium economy or business for that matter. You get that on ANA typical flights, and I thought that was really nice. So I was able to get a little bit of work on my laptop and not have to worry about that. You just make sure you recognize that if you're on the Dreamliner, you get that, maybe with other airlines as well, but I really appreciated that. I'm taking pictures of Leo's food. Leo's food was better than ours. The kid menu, he had a special kids menu, and it was better. It tasted and looked better than ours. Yeah, check this out here. So this is the first meal. Oh no, this is the breakfast. We had like this overcooked rubbery fish, some kind of gluten-free bread, which didn't taste good. The chobani, which I loved. I put some almonds in there that I brought with me. I always bring a bag of almonds. The salad, which is okay. But there's like these potatoes. Salad was maybe the star of this meal, but the fish was really not good at all. That's not up to the standards of ANA, but those potatoes are the same potatoes that we had for the, that was the breakfast before we arrived, that we had for the meal before that. I'm like, really? You can't get a little creative with it? Or rubber fish is never nice. Now here's Leo's offerings. Mac and cheese, baby. You can't go wrong with that. Broccoli, very healthy. Some meatballs that did not taste like it was processed. It was quite good. Leo ate well. Thankfully, Leo said, "Gochiso sama deshita." He said he was finished with the food, so I might have had some of that mac and cheese and left some of that gluten-free stuff behind. The gluten-free menu is usually really, really good. I want to put that out there. The gluten-free menu, usually very, very good. I don't know why it was so bad this time. I don't know why. But that's just the way things rolled. Yeah, he is having so much fun though on the flight. It wasn't always like this though. All right, he had some meltdowns. Like I guess he wanted to move around, but it's always going to be kind of hard to travel with a toddler. But he did it well. I think that this Jet Kids, you can't set it up until about an hour into the flight when they turn off the seatbelt thing. But I pulled it out of the overhead compartment and was able to set up a bed for him. The Jet Kids is this thing, you can get it on Amazon for, I think it was like $100 or something. And it allows you to take the seat and turning it into a bed for kids. And it also gives them something that they can sit on. And you could wheel, I was able to wheel Leo around here. Let me see, I think I have a picture of it here. That's our luggage when we arrived into Haneda. You can see the Jet Kids down there. Maybe I can pause it. Right there, see Kanai's pulling Leo right here. So that thing that Leo's sitting on right there is the Jet Kids. It's kind of neat to have. It fits in the overhead compartment. You can take it out and it turns into a bed, meaning it's a flat area he can now lay on. And he got the best sleep of all of us. I think he slept about 6 or 7 hours. But when he wasn't sleeping, he was somewhat cranky, and there was some times where he was crying like a little bit, but wasn't anything as bad as the kids behind us or the kid in front of us. So we felt pretty fortunate. When we compare it to other kids, we're very, very fortunate. And the cool thing with this setup was that the kids that we had at the gate in New York, they all wanted to have one of these Jet Kids, like, Mommy, I want one of those too. So that's always kind of cool when you see that. With this though, the last thing I wanted to talk about with the flight before, because I don't want to be negative on the food, I just thought that we got a pretty bad menu coming back. That's the one thing to probably consider. The luggage, I'm showing this for the third time for a reason. The luggage, there is a lot. We had to bring back a lot of gifts that we left at Christmas time last time, and we actually left more stuff behind than we brought with us. So yeah, if you're going to travel with this much luggage, don't take public transportation at 5 p.m. or in the morning. It's going to be packed. You're going to be uncomfortable. Just get a taxi. Add it as part of your flight ticket. For us, from Haneda into central Tokyo, it cost us about 8,000 yen, which is about $50, okay? Just take it because it's going to be more comfortable. You can take a bus, but if you've got a family of 4, look, the taxi is the way to go. I'm telling you right now, it is just convenient, gets you right to the door after a long flight. You don't want to have to deal with it. This all fit into a normal taxi. Granted, the 3 of us sat in the back, and in that front seat, I put the 2 duffel bags up there, and it wasn't an issue. He drove us right to the front door. It was over, and it was great. I'm glad that we did that. But yeah, about $50 for the taxi ride from Haneda to our door, which is, I think, a bargain comparatively. WRX Turbo's in the house. Appreciate it, buddy. Europe can be different. DOCO serves other airlines and outstations, and their food is on fire. you know, Pacer, though, this is the first time that I had subpar food on an international flight for ANA, and I think it has to do with the offerings from United Airlines. I just think that everybody is cutting costs so much. I couldn't believe how bad the food was. I left there very, very upset because the food was substandard. And the food is probably better than what's on American Airlines. I don't know. I don't fly American Airlines. The reason I fly ANA is because I'll pay about, I think for economy, it's probably another $400 more to fly ANA than it is to fly American Airlines. But as I said, I think the economy seats on American Airlines, on ANA, are probably like, it feels like maybe premium economy on the US carriers, has been my experience. They treat the luggage well. It always comes in one piece. The service is always really good. The flight attendants are super classy. They really put a lot of attention into the details. They clean the restrooms like 5 or 6 times during the flight. Immaculate restrooms most of the time. If you follow somebody who's kind of messy, and if you're coming from a flight from the US, it probably is possible. Japanese typically, and there weren't a lot of Japanese on this flight. I'd say it's 50% Japanese, 50% non-Japanese. No, wait. No, it was hard because, no, I would say it's about 30% Japanese, 70% non-Japanese, and we had about 20% were tourists from China traveling onwards to Shanghai and Beijing. But for the most part, Japanese tourists have always left the bathrooms cleaner than when they found it. They always will like wipe off the counters and stuff, and we didn't have that on this flight. I'm guessing just the standards are different. But I noticed the flight attendants going in there very regularly to wipe down the restrooms, which I thought was really, really nice of them, and we said thank you to them on multiple occasions for just the little things that they do. The ANA flight attendants, they're stars on each flight, and they take a lot of slack from the foreign tourists that come. I guess for US carriers, there's a lot, the service is so bad that passengers are somewhat pushy to the flight attendants. I don't think that needs to be done with Japanese flight attendants because they're just so darn good, but I'm sure that they take a lot of heat from international passengers that are a little bit, I don't know, not used to it. So I think that, you know, I think it was in the news before I left here that JAL and ANA had like a code of the line where passengers go too far, and there are some passengers internationally that have gone way too far with pushing service. Like you got to do this and you got to do that, and they don't have to do anything. They just leave them be because they know what they're doing more so than anybody else. Maybe Singapore might be, and Qatar and Emirates. There's like 10 airlines that are at the top of their game, and both JAL and ANA are one of those airlines, which is why you fly them. They're just superb. They're just superb. Of note, I'm not a political person, all right? I'm not a political person, but I thought that this was interesting. They have the chocolate bars at New York City. This is New York City, okay? This is how they play it. On the top, they have the Trump bars right now. What a smile. And down here below, they have the Biden ones. I don't know why they put the Biden ones below the Trump ones. I think that the Trump ones sell a little bit better. But I think this is something of a collector's item. But I thought that was funny that there were a lot more Joe Biden bars than there were Trump bars. I counted. So there's a whole box behind the Joe Biden ones there. So Trump chocolate is selling a little bit better than the Joe Biden chocolates, so I'm just saying. I thought that was really funny. And no, I didn't buy either of the chocolates. Give me a break. This is probably substandard chocolate just because you put a picture of somebody there. But I thought that, just putting politics aside, interesting that they would put politics in chocolate at the airport in New York. New Yorkers know how to take advantage of both the Democrats and the Republicans and sell some chocolate, which is good, I guess. That was our experience. I wanted Kanai to report on that today. She's quite busy. She's with Gigi, who is Leo's Japanese grandfather today. and it is a really hot day in Tokyo. There's a breeze here, but I have to be honest with you, jet lag is knocking me out. I think I can show you, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up any politics whatsoever. I'm sure we're gonna have some people talk about it, but this is me yesterday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Can I snap this photo? I'm completely wiped out. Jet lag has knocked me on my butt. You just can't keep your eyes open. So now I know how bad it is, and I feel like I'm gonna be smashed in about 3 hours from now, and it goes away in about 3-4 days, but you cannot keep your eyes open. And my politics does not matter. I will never force that on you. I see the politics coming in here. I don't care about the current administration, or I don't want to talk about it. Vote whoever you want to. Politics and religion, it's up to you. I just think it's very noteworthy that in New York City, they play both sides if they can make money off of it. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, when I was in the US, it might be something worth doing a stream on, but when I was in the US, I got a chance, and it has been a long time since I was able to experience it. I was there when the Trump assassination, not in Pennsylvania, but I was in the US when it happened. And I was also in the US when President Biden decided he wasn't going to run again. And I was listening to both sides. I was watching both Fox News and MSNBC and CNN and all the media. And I don't do that here in Japan. And I thought that it was really interesting. And I really do see myself as a nonpartisan, complete independent. And I will be voting in this election by absentee ballot. But, you know, I've got strong feelings on this, but this is not the forum where you express it. But I think maybe talking about it a little bit as somebody from outside might be something for a separate live stream. But it was interesting because I don't get to see the elections. I've seen the debates. Since 2000 with Al Gore and George Bush living here in Japan. I was able to see the debates on normal TV, which is interesting. I have not been in the U.S. in an election year in the summer that I can remember, and it was interesting to live through the last 2.5 weeks at this time. So that's all with that. Food Loaf is here. If you still need a coffee after jet lag, here you go. Thank you. And there's a Starbucks around here, or another cafe. I think there's a Tully's around here, and I might just go and take you up on that because I certainly need to stay caffeinated. I've got a video right now ready to release, but I got a bunch of feedback. It's from Todaiji, and I got access and permission from Todaiji Temple in Nara. That's where the largest wooden building is, and they had quite a list of changes from the video, so it might take a couple of days to get it uploaded, but I thought I'd be able to upload it today. I'm gonna have to make some changes. They said maybe I went to a place that I wasn't supposed to go, or something like this. So what are you gonna do? So I'll just make the changes and upload the video on the weekend if I can. I have a square watermelon video, which is just about finished as well, that I was editing when I was in, I know, Earth Laundry. I'm looking at that too. Somebody said that one of the best businesses to get into right now is laundromats. And apparently there's one right there. It's good to know. All right, everybody, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I do highly recommend ANA, but I do think that the food from the US to Japan in 2024 was lacking seriously. Whether it's a special meal or not, but I recommend this. Always get the special meal. They have I say it's weird because it's not something that I'm used to, like, you know, a Hindu meal, like every single type of diet for India, which was pretty interesting. They had a Muslim meal. They had a no sugar meal. Try some of this, and it's quite interesting because I think the service is better. The food, when we came from Japan, came with a brochure of the chef that prepared it and the attention, showing the attention to a gluten-free menu that he put into it. When we came back, we didn't get that insert, and in fact, I kind of wish that I had. Do I have it? Maybe hold on a second. I might have some pictures of the flight, the food over. That would really put things in perspective, wouldn't it? I might not. I'm looking right now. Hold on a second. I'm looking at Kanai. We found a cheeseburger cake. Gosh, I got to do another live stream with Kanai to talk about the. Oh, here it is. Okay. I think I can show this to you. I haven't vetted these videos, so I don't know what it is. This is the food from Japan to the US. That's Leo's child menu. They've cut up the hamburger and made it into a star. The onigiri had little edamame, soramame on there. There's the cheeseburger with a heart as cheese on there. It was just done so much better. You saw the mac and cheese that he got. It wasn't bad, but they had a lot more love in the child menu, didn't it? And you can see that they put the love into the food, into that. This is the menu going from Japan to the United States. Now, I think that this is our food here. Hold on a second. So that's Leo got his, and then now Kanai's opening up her first one, and you can see there's a huge quality difference, not just in the vegetables. The presentation of it looks really good. I can't remember what it was, but it was really, really good, this one. And we got renkon, a lotus root salad. You see the menu there? We didn't get that coming back. In that menu, the chef's name and all that was listed in there. Some shrimp with some sort of potato something. And we were all jealous of Leo's meal, actually. This is the trip from Japan, ANA. So I'm showing this because the meal from the US to Japan is different from the meal from Japan to the US, and that is something to consider. You can also upgrade the meal. We had this for 2,500 yen, or about, what is that, $17? You can upgrade to like the premium economy meal. And I've done that once before. It's okay. I don't know what's so different. I think maybe the quality's up, but usually they let you have a better wine menu, which can be a big deal to some people, but I don't know if that's worth an extra like $17, but you would get better food and that's better service, and you get served. That's only an option on some flights, but I like the fact that they do that. And we did try that once, and we didn't know if it didn't look too much better than the original menu, which is like a katsudon. We're like, damn, I wish I had that katsudon. But we didn't. We got the premium economy meal in economy. Or maybe yeah. I can't remember. I think premium economy is the same one as economy, but they have a upgraded meal, which is something interesting. ANA premium economy is good, but again, we went with economy because they had 3 seats together, and it was 2 seats together, and we would have had to separate. The 4 seats together is a little bit dicey, and they have this bid to upgrade that they give you about 3 days before if they have available premium economies, and they did. But the issue with that was that we did not want to be separated, and I don't know if we'd be able to 3 of us sit together, or else they would have put us in separate seats. So I didn't bid to upgrade into premium economy. We flew premium economy with Leo last time, going to New York, and it was good. But I think it didn't make a huge difference, premium economy versus economy, because with the jet kids, he sleeps very well in both, and Kanai and I get enough sleep. We had that turtle pillow, which I highly recommend. I think it's like $60 or something on Amazon, but it allows you to sleep pretty comfortably. So I got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but I know that Kanai got sick, maybe from the food, but she was feeling really bad when we got to Haneda. So another reason maybe to double check your food. The last thing you want is to get sick from the food coming into Japan. You can't lie across in premium economy. That's another, yeah, exactly, and thank you. That's the other reason. We know that you can lift the armrests in economy. You can't lift the armrests in premium economy. For families, that's an issue. No cuddling, which is, maybe I'll like to do that. All right, I got to get back to work, but I will be in another live stream and talk about a bunch of topics that have been happening in Japan. Summer's here, it is sweltering. I'd like to talk with tourists, like, why would you come at this time of year? It's so hot. Could you even survive Tokyo without air conditioning? Like, I wonder if there are some tourists here that came here, could you survive without air? If there was no air conditioning, would you still have a good time visiting Japan? The answer is like, definitely no. It's hotter than Singapore. Maybe not today, there's a slight breeze, but Ario, no cuddling. Not in premium economy. All right, everybody, I'll see you in another live stream. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll see you in another live stream real soon. Mata ne.